guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bianca if you are new, and today we are going to be doing my February wrap-up. So let's get into the stats for the month of February. In February I read 8 books total. I read 292 pages and I bought 9 books. I bought more than 9 books. Let's be honest. I bought way more than 9 books. I'm gonna have to update my stats. But I still think it's pretty good that I read 2,092 pages. None of these books were incredibly long, so the number of books worked out. I have an average of 4 stars for the books. More of them were 4 stars. I have 4 4-stars, 2 3-stars, and 1 5-star. So let's get into the books. These are kind of in order that I finished them in, not in the order I started them in. So the first book I started in January, but I finished in February, so I'm starting it for February. I'm counting it for February. This is Electric Idol by Katee Robert. This is the second book in the Dark Olympus series. This follows Psyche and Eros. So Aphrodite, who is Eros' mother, puts out a hit on Psyche. She wants her heart. And instead of giving Aphrodite Psyche's heart, Eros marries her in order to protect her, because he thinks his mother won't kill her if they're married. Things don't actually work out the way Eros and Psyche plan, but it's still really fun the way things kind of like go out of control. This is very spicy. I loved the banter between Eros and Psyche. I loved this depiction of Aphrodite because you kind of always see her as the loving lover. But in here she's kind of vindictive and very much a witch. And it was really interesting to see that kind of depiction of her. But like I said, really love the banter between Psyche and Eros. The only thing negative I can really say is Psyche spent a lot of time trying to kind of like convince herself that Eros couldn't possibly have feelings for her because he doesn't have feelings. And Eros spent the same amount of time rejecting his feelings for Psyche because he doesn't believe she could love a monster like him. And they said it so many times it kind of got annoying. But I still really love this. This got 4 stars. I cannot wait to continue the series. I just got the latest addition to the series, which is Radiant Sun. I believe it's either 4 or 5, I'm not sure, but cannot wait to read more. Katee Roberts a great author, and I love these books. The next one is a book that was on my TBR for last month. I read it in one day. I loved it. It was a 4-star read, very enjoyable, and I do have the whole series, so I'm glad I enjoyed it. But this was Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, and I enjoyed this book so much that I really put my eyes to the grindstone to find this special edition from Fairy Loot. I could not find it anywhere. I finally found it on a Facebook marketplace. And then I went ahead and I got 2 Fairy Loot editions for the next 2 books. Obviously I just bought those. They just went on sale. So I don't have the physical Fairy Loot copies, but I can put kind of like pictures of them up here so you can see what they look like. But they're so pretty and they match this one, and I'm so excited that I'm gonna have them. So as a child, Dora has an interaction with a fairy who has a past with her mother, and as a result of that, he attempts to take her soul, but she's saved by her cousin, and as a result, the fairy only gets half of it. So Dora goes through her life missing that piece of her soul where she feels no embarrassment and she feels no fear. So that kind of really impacts Dora in her life. And then we see her as, I believe she's an adult. I don't know that she's a young adult. She might be in her 20s. She's come to London for the season with her cousin in order to find her cousin a husband. When she kind of attracts the attention of the, what is he called? Lord Sorcerer, Elias Wilder. And Elias Wilder kind of opens her eyes to struggles and also to her family. And I really loved this. I thought it wasn't your normal Regency romance. I've read a couple Regency romances. I love Regency romances. And this one was different to me. It wasn't just a straightforward romance. There was different aspects of it that I really enjoyed. And I loved the kind of glimpse you can see of the kind of person Elias Wilder is and why he acts the way he acts. And I loved it. So like I said, 4 stars and highly recommend. This next one is a webtoon that has been published. And I really like it. And I saw this cover in Target and I had to get it. This is Cursed Princess Club by Lamb Cat, which is really cute because the C in cat has little cat ears on it. But this is about 3 sisters who are princesses and their father's really protective. And then I don't know what age they are. But then her father brings in 3 princes to meet the princesses, not hoping to, but in order to kind of like lead them towards marriage, even though he's totally against it because he's really protective. But this kind of follows Gwendolyn, who all of her life has been seen as beautiful as her sisters and her brother. Nobody has seen her any differently until these princes come to their kingdom and they don't react to Gwendolyn like they reacted to the other sisters. So I like this because it's about not being conventionally beautiful. She's beautiful in her own ways, and I think it's a really gorgeous story. The artwork in here also gorgeous, full color. So I do recommend. I love this. This got 4 stars too. Again, another one I read in one day. It is a webtoon, so quick. But I cannot wait until the second one is released because I prefer reading them physically than on my phone or on my tablet, so I do want that. This next one is so popular on BookTube and on BookTok and Bookstagram, and I can tell why. I can completely understand why. I really did enjoy this. I didn't think I was going to, or I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did, but I really did enjoy this. This was A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is the copy I read. I do have the Fairy Loot edition. But I enjoyed this. I tabbed it a little bit, but I'm going to wait until I reread to tab it more because there's a lot of beautiful writing in this. And I kind of wanted to read it to just read it, as opposed to taking time to kind of like underline. I underlined a few lines at the beginning, but not much. Like I underlined, I will render you as you really were, neither cast in pristine stained glass nor unholy fire. It's beautiful. I love the writing. It was really beautiful writing. So this follows one of Dracula's brides and kind of her life with him, and then their life as they add more to their family and kind of like what they go through. There are trigger warnings that are listed in the front of the book, and an author's note. So there's emotional, verbal, and physical intimate partner abuse, gaslighting, war, famine, and plague, blood and gore, consensual sexual contact, sadomasochism, self-harm, body horror, violence and murder, alcohol use, depression and mania, along with brief references to sexual assault, drug use, and drowning. So I really did enjoy this. This got a 4-star too, and I love the writing. The writing was beautiful. Um, there is a romance between the other bride and members of Dracula's family that it was just beautiful how they take care of each other and how much they care about each other. And I really do agree with everyone. I highly recommend. Very good book. So the next two books I don't have physical copies of. I read them on Kindle Unlimited. They were Saga Volume 1 and Volume 2. Those are free to read on Kindle Unlimited. I really kind of just picked them up to see what all the fuss was about. I enjoyed them for the most part. Both of them got 3 stars from me. I don't know if I would spend the money to continue reading, because I don't feel any loss from not reading, from not continuing. No draw to have to pick them up. So I don't know that I will. But, you know, Saga Volume 1 and 2 were enjoyable. I enjoyed them. They got 3 stars. But I don't feel any need to pick up the next volume. So I don't remember much about what these comics are about. I believe they are narrated by the child that is in the story. She's telling the story. She's retelling the story as I guess it's been told to her, since she was just born when it started. But her parents are part of opposing like sides, and they meet in the prison. They break out, they have her, and now they're being hunted as traitors. So the premise is good. The premise is really enjoyable. I enjoyed the fact that it was narrated by the kid, because she kind of gives like little smart aleck remarks when referring to the different things that happen. So it was an enjoyable story, but I just don't know if I'm interested enough to go out and buy the comics. But Saga was enjoyable for what it was. The next book is part of the Wayward Children series, which I'm trying to finish this year. I read Every Heart a Doorway last year, and then I just finished Down Among the Sticks and Bones. This series is by Sean McGuire and is a portal fantasy series, and surrounds Eleanor West's Home for Wayward Children, where Eleanor West takes in the children that have been to these portal worlds but have come back, and they're dealing with reacclimating, and she's kind of there to help them if they want to reacclimate, or help them just be themselves and deal with that. So this one follows Jack and Jill, Jacqueline and Jillian, who are mentioned in the first book. So this is kind of like their trip to the portal world. So I've heard it recommended to read this one first before reading Every Heart a Doorway. And I will say I did try it and I did not get through this. So I do recommend reading it in publishing order. Every Heart a Doorway and then this one, because that made this one so much more understandable. But this follows Jack and Jill, who discover a portal in a bedroom and a trunk in their house. Not going to tell you too much because I don't want to ruin it. It is a novella. It's really short, but I do recommend it. I love this. It's just really good. It's got a sapphic romance. It's got blood and gore. It's got action. And just, I don't want to say my feelings too much because I do not want to give anything away. But I will just say this. I hated their parents. I hated Jack and Jill's parents. They were horrible people. But I love this book. This got a 5-star. And the final book I read for the month of February was a Book of the Month book. So I do get to check off that check mark in my bullet journal. So this was The Reunion by Kayla Olson. I really enjoyed this. I really did. This got 4 stars, and It is about Liv, who was the star in a popular teen drama called Girl on the Verge. Yes. And, you know, the show ended years ago, and now they're coming back for a reunion episode, and she is not only thrust back into this world that she's kind of taken a step back from, but she also has to meet up again with her on-screen love interest, who was her best friend at the time of filming, but they kind of separated and haven't contacted each other since, and she's dealing with that. And I loved this book. So it's like a second chance friends to lovers trope, and it's also kind of mixed media, because at the end of each chapter they have these little like blog posts, and sometimes they even have, where is it, comments from like fans of the show. And if you guys have followed any fandom, you know fans can get real grimy. So I loved that. I really enjoyed this. It was so much fun. So I do recommend this one. So 8 books, 4 4 stars, 2 3 stars, and 1 5 star. Very good statistics for last month. I really enjoyed almost every book I read, and I didn't not enjoy the Saga series. I just don't know that it's something I'm gonna seek out, you know, but still an enjoyable read. So these are the books along with Saga that I read last month. I recommend all of them, because they were all good. So let me know what you read in February. If you have any recommendations, please let me know. If you think I should continue Saga, let me know. Tell me what you love about it down in the comments below. I will see you guys there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day or night wherever you are. And don't forget to pick up a good book. Bye.